G'day world, Chris Ogan coming to you live from the Sunshine Coast for breakfast at the Maroochy Golf Course. Lovely view outside, but we actually had some fantastic panellists here today, 5 panellists, and it was for the Script Innovation Breakfast, and I have with me the MC for today, Cam Dunlop. How are you, Cam?
Very well, thanks.
Cam, what was one of the biggest takeaways? There was lots of questions asked and 5 panellists, so it might be hard to answer that question, but can you give it a shot?
Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway for me was the definition of the meaning of innovation. Having worked with potentially hundreds of small to large enterprise businesses myself, everyone was a little bit confused around what innovation means, and I think a lot of people associate it with the latest tech tools or the latest workflow systems, or implementing the emerging technology in their business. Whereas what we learned from the panel this morning is, I think it's about being creative, thinking differently, sort of challenging the status quo, not being afraid to do things differently as an entrepreneur or a business owner in their sector.
Who was the speaker from Jets?
That's Elaine. So yes, she's the CEO of Jets. We were really fortunate to have her today. I just felt that her business mind and her leadership really stood out today. I thought she was really articulate, answered the questions really well, and you could sort of, as I was sort of looking around the room, I could see that every time she was talking, there were people sort of jotting down notes and hanging off words that she was saying. One of the
catchphrases, I guess you could possibly call it, from something she said around the innovation thing was staying forever young.
Yeah.
And that. Their business, Jets, fitness centres, obviously, there's new people coming into their business all of the time, and that it's important for them to recognise that, not that they grow old with their customer, but that they constantly stay forever young. And I think that's a perfect way of describing innovation.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, look, they're a bricks and mortar type of business, but I think, as we heard from Elaine this morning, they're doing a great job with their members and increasing their members. I think there's something to be said about that for anyone who runs a business. I mean, we often hear in the media around how technology is threatening bricks and mortar stores, and my learnings from today is that's not necessarily the case. It's just about reinventing yourself and staying young, as you say. And I mean, if I look at it from my own personal development, if I don't constantly look for ways to improve what I'm doing, then hey, I'll get left behind.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's obviously coming to events like this help you, I guess, glean different inspiration from entrepreneurs, investors, mentors per se. So a good way to, I guess, make sure you're keeping up with the times as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's always such a pleasure having people like, Steve Baxter rock up to an event, and I think he was the big draw card for today. And but it's hearing from our local entrepreneurs, which was a real highlight for me today. The Sunshine Coast is, we're really well regarded with our entrepreneurialism and innovation, and the Sunshine Coast Council Script are doing a wonderful job to drive that here on the coast. It was good to be a part of it.
Yeah, great. Well, thanks very much for your time, Cam.
Yeah, no problems. Thank you.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Keep watching, guys, on facebook.com/Beach City Life. You can also search for us on YouTube and LinkedIn. Just search for Beach City. Cheers.